Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Watercolor Wednesday. It's me, not Kim. She, at the last minute, could not be on, so I am filling in for her this time. And we're going to do a really fun project together, you guys. It's just going to be really, really fun. And Christmas, because, Christmas is literally less than 2 weeks away. Can you believe it? And didn't we just have Thanksgiving? Like, what? Thanksgiving was yesterday, you guys, and now it's almost Christmas. Christmas is tomorrow. Let's just say that. So hello to everyone. We're going to do a really fun project. I got a couple of announcements to make, a couple of exciting things to tell you. So I will be doing that. But first I got to say hi to my people who are on here. Sandy, good morning from Grants Pass. Carolyn, or Carolyn. Have I asked you that before? I think I have. I think it's Carolyn. Good morning, Orange, California. Hello, Kathy. Kathy is on. Linda, good morning. Amy, good morning. Kathy, Shirley, good morning. Samantha, hello. Mary says, I've never been able to paint live, but today is the day. Okay. Did you see the giant list of things that we're going to be using? I barely could fit everything into the screen. And once in a while, I like to do a project like that has a lot of things in it. Because these things are made to go together. That's the whole fun thing about it. And if you think about these images, even the ones that are more complex, as bits and pieces that you can use in other projects. It makes them so much more versatile and super, super fun. So there are a lot. Now, always keep in mind, you don't have to have these specific things. This is what I'm using, and this is what I'm using to inspire you. So you could substitute out things. You can put something different in a different location, but it's mostly just to inspire you to try to think outside the box a little bit and use some of the things that you have in a different way. So, and it's always fun to take things and then change them up for the holidays. That's probably my funnest thing to do. I love taking something and making it Christmas, because I love the snow. So that's probably a big reason why I love the white paint and making it snowy. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use white paint, lots of it, and we're going to make it snowy, and we're going to turn that little door into a cute Christmas door. And I hope you guys love this project. It was super, super fun. Kristen, hello. Linda from North Carolina, glad you're on. Hello from Kansas. Cindy. Diana, hello. Good morning. Carolyn, okay, I got it right. I'll remember that. I will remember it from now on. Carolyn. Lori from Gilbert, hello. She's saying, I think Facebook isn't loading, so she's on YouTube. Is anybody else having that problem with Facebook? Sometimes it is a little glitchy. So if you are having trouble with that, just head over to YouTube and you can catch us live on YouTube. Lori said had problems with it too. Okay, Barbara, hello. Good to have all of you on here. Thanks for joining me. It's always a good day when it's Wednesday and we can watercolor together. It's so much fun. So I'm going to switch over my camera, but first I want to tell you a couple of things. Number one, today starts our gift card sale. And this is something that we do once a year at the end of the year. It is a great deal. And if you think that you are going to be buying something from AI next year, this is a great thing to do because it's 25% off. And there are different variations of amounts that you can do. And it's good for everything on the website, including the classes. So you can purchase that gift card and hold it over to next year and use it on your purchase. It's 25% off. So head to the website at artimpressions.com and you will see on the slideshow, you'll see the graphic that is talking about the gift card sale. Click that and it will take you to that screen, and click the options and you'll be able to see all of those, and you just put it into your cart. You just add it to your cart. It's so easy to do. That starts today and will go through Sunday at midnight Pacific time. So you can get those starting right now. And it's such a great deal. I know there are a number of you who buy multiples of them, and especially gifts, because when you pair it with a sale, it's just a great deal. So they are for anything that is on our website. And it's just it's a really fun thing for us to do for you, and it's a great opportunity. The other thing is the new Bible journaling sets are here, you guys, and I will show you this under the camera. But it's joy. So those of you who follow me every first and third Tuesday of the month, we are going to be starting with joy next year. And it will be the first Tuesday in January, and that will take us through the first quarter. So it's 3 months. We'll be using that new set for 3 months, and then we'll move on to the next quarter. So the first quarter, starting the first Tuesday of January, we'll be using that set. So you've got lots of time to get it. It's available right now. We were a little concerned about getting those in on time so that you could get it ordered, but our supplier came through and we got them, and they are now available. So you can check that out on the website. You'll see that on the rotating the little rotating graphics on the website. So you'll see that on there. Click on there and you can order that also. So you've got lots of time. That first Tuesday, I think, is the 7th of January. So you've got lots of time to get this set. We just want to make sure that it's available early so that you do have enough time to get it. But we'll be using that just like we have the last two quarters, pretty much exclusively in the Bible journaling tutorials that I'm doing. And then I also have some accompanying things, flowers, foliages, things like that, that I use too. But for the most part, we'll be using the stamps that are in this set. So I think it'll be really fun. It's loaded. It's got a ton of stuff in it. I'll show it to you when I flip the camera around. But it is available right now, thankfully. And also available on the website. If you go to Get Inspired at the very top, you'll see the suggested scripture reading. And there is a new one now for joy. So you can click on that, you can download it, and you can print it off. And you'll be ready for that first tutorial on the 7th of January. So check that out under Get Inspired. See the suggested scripture reading. I think all 3 of them are on there. So if you're new and starting with us, you can catch up. You can go back and watch those tutorials. You can get those scripture sheets. They're all 3 on there. So click on whichever one you want to print, and it'll take you to the screen, and you can just print that off. So the current one will be joy, and that will be starting in January. So let's switch over. Everybody else doing okay? I see a lot of you on YouTube now, so great. The Christmas Village, I believe, is in stock. I just saw them just the other day when I was down there, a whole stack of them. So are you talking about this little Christmas one right here? This one is in the shop. I just saw it. So you guys, it's available. Okay, Ruth Ann is on. Let me see. Okay, I see a lot of you on YouTube. So, Facebook must be glitchy. Hooray for joy. Okay, yes. We're going to have so much fun, you guys. It'll be just a blast. Okay, you guys, I'm going to switch over and we're going to get to our project. And you can see how many sets I used on here. And don't be intimidated by this, you guys. It's really fun to put things together. Some things in here, I literally used one little thing out of it. So you can easily substitute that out. But it is fun to see how these things go together and how you can make them into one finished watercolor project, which is exactly what we did right here. And this is what we're going to make today. So let me just zoom in on this so that I can show you. Here is the project, and I'm going to go through all of these sets and show you exactly what I used in each one. But before I do that, let me just show you, this is the Joy set right here. And it is for Series 2. We're starting Series 2 now next year. We finished Series 1 this year, and now we'll be on to the next one. It is 5981, and it's called My Joy Set. And you can see it's loaded with these little hummingbirds and daisies, and it makes you joyful just looking at it. It really does. So I'll be really excited to get into this one. We've got one more still in the Trust series that we will be finishing up. I believe it's next week on Tuesday. And that will be the last one in that series, and then we'll be moving on. So this is it. It's available right now, you guys. If they are clear, they're clear stamps. So let me just show you. They are clear, and you know, it's so nice to have them clear because you can see exactly where they're going when you're stamping them into your Bible. So there's just a ton available on here. So we're gonna have a good time with those. And then here is the printed sheet. This is the suggested reading. These are the scripture verses that we'll be going through when we do the Bible journaling. And this is the one that is on the website that you can just click on and print, and then you'll have that ready. All right, so let's get on to our project for today. And you guys that came on early, you saw all of these laid out. So if you're gonna stamp with me, which I hope you will, you can find these things in your collection or find something similar in your collection that you can use. All right, so here is the project, and you can see that it's changed up a bit. So I changed out a little bit of this, and here, let me just show you. This is the actual stamp here. So let me show you on the back. This is actually what it looks like. And it's just a kind of a fill in the blank. It's under our foundations line. Let me just move all of this out of the way now. It's under our foundations line, and it is called the Watercolor Foundation Store. And you can see the sample on here is a spring one. It's got a wreath. It's got, you know, all of these like vines and florals. So it's really fun to do these springy ones. But it's really also fun to do a Christmas variation of it. So that's what we're going to do. And you can see the difference here between the two. And it's just filling in some of these containers. Now here's what I did differently. I took off, let's just lay this on here. Here's how it actually goes, like this. And there's a couple of things that I did differently. For the most part, I left it the same to this point. And then I took off this little section right here. So in other words, I just didn't ink it. I didn't ink this pot right here and the watering can. I just left those off and left that a blank space because I wanted to put in the little stack of presents, which just fit perfectly right in here. You could also do them up here on the step. You know, you could leave this one off and you could put, you know, something up here on the step. So it's, you know, if you think about it that way, you don't have to ink the whole thing ever. You don't ever have to ink the whole thing. You can just leave things off and put something different on here. Maybe you want to use it for a fall theme and you leave this off and put a big pumpkin here. That would be really, really cute. So for different seasons, remember that you can add and subtract things off of these images. So you can see how different it looks compared to here. All right, so let me move that aside. So here is obviously, this is the first thing that we're going to be using is this stamp. And like I said, it is from the Foundations Door. Is the Foundations Door from the Foundations line. So this is the first one that we're going to be using. The little dog that I tucked into the little pot right here is from the dog set. Now this also, you could use whatever little critter, or you know, you could put a little present over here instead of a pot. You could do that differently. But I thought it would be cute to just have him just you know, sitting in this little pot. Maybe he's a special little Christmas gift for someone, or, you know, he's just snuggled up in this little pot. So I just used this little sleeping guy right here. This one would also be cute. And so would this. This one would be really cute too, because you could just put him just kind of sitting inside here. Or again, you could leave this off and just have him sitting next to the door, which would be really cute too. So keep that in mind as well. So lots of little critters, different critters that you could put in here. The cats I know would be really cute. You could have birds in here. You could just, you know, use whatever little critter that you want to use. So let's go to the gifts that are here. And there are several sets that have stacks of presents. And if you have one of those, you're good to go. You could also hand draw a stack of squares. which is very similar to what these are. And if you are brave and you want to try that, you absolutely can. And just pencil them in. You don't have to use the ink, just pencil it in and then color it, with different colors. But here's what I used. I just used this stack right here. And in other words, I just inked this part and I used my stamp platform and positioned it, and I could see right where it's going and just stamped it right in there into that opening. And it just fits perfectly. It just fits perfectly. So I didn't use any of this. Obviously, I didn't use any of the cart. I just inked this little section right here. And then the tree in the background. So while I had these out, I picked this tree right here because it fits perfectly in this pot. It's the exact correct size. And here's the actual size of it. You can see it's the absolute perfect size to go in this pot. And I thought it was so cute. You could add some little jewels or something on here. You could just, stick them on here and add something decorative to this little tree. I left it pretty plain, but, use your imagination and just, put on here whatever you want to put on here. But that's this tree from this set. However, again, there are trees, evergreen trees, fir trees like this in different sets. And if you have one already, use that. Use that. That will work just perfectly. You could also put the little star on the top, which would be really cute too. Okay, so let's continue on here. This one, I just used this little evergreen bough right here, and I just put it in this pot. So if you have one like this, you don't necessarily have to have this set, but I just picked one of these two, and I just stamped it in here several times. And you could use a vine, you could use some other type of foliage, whatever you want to use. But that's the one that I used, was from this set right here. This one, I used the wreath. And this is just the perfect size for this door is this little wreath. You could use either one. Either one. You could also make a swag using some of these little evergreens with a little bow on it. That would also be really cute. But this is what I used from this set, the little mini wreath set. Also, from this one is from last year. It is one of my favorite sets. It's the holly set, and it is just great for things like this. It's going to create this little garland that is over the top of the door. And I used these two. So, whichever one. I just kind of grew it, kind of coming out of the pot and over the top. And just super easy. You don't really have to think about where it's going. You just stamp it in a few times and it will just kind of do its thing. It really will. You could use these two. Okay, and then for the small little areas. Okay, do you see this tiny little grass here coming out of the snow? That's from this set. And here's what I mean by, you don't necessarily have to have this specific one. You could also just hand draw some little grasses coming out of there, or you could use something different, or you could just have it just be full of snow. Either way. So I used one of these, probably this one right here, going the other direction. Foliage set 3. In the basic foliage set, the leaves, the vine, and just the very top, and you can see it right here. Here's the top of that vine, and it's just, a little branchy thing of foliage that's kind of, still alive in the snow. So that's what I used here. And of course, then I used the little branches, this one right here. So that is it. And it looks like a lot, you guys, but honestly, if you can think about switching it out, that you're able to switch it out and use things that you have, or maybe just simplify it where you don't have as much on here, again, just, make it your own, just make it your own. All right, so let's get everything out of the way here so that I have room. And I've already got one that is pre-stamped. So this is what it looks like. This is where we're going. We're going from here to here. And so I'm going to try to leave this in the screen so that you can see. I love to be able to see the progress. And to be honest, I almost gave up on this project. And so I want to just emphasize to you that when you're doing something large like this and something that is a little more complex, just see it through to the end. Just see it through. And, I wanted to quit because I wasn't I wasn't quite sure about the colors I picked. It didn't seem like it was really coming together. And then the more I worked it and the more that I just kind of played around with it and added a few more things, added the white paint, it really did come together. So don't give up. Sometimes when you're in the middle of it, it looks a bit of a mess. It really does. And that's honestly, it's part of the process. Don't give up and don't quit. Don't quit on it. See it through to the end and then put it aside and look at it again the next day. I do that all the time. So, let me just encourage you to do that because it does happen to all of us. Do you have, Kim, a palette over there?
I sure do.
Can I just have that? Thank you. Okay, I do. That is a necessity. We do need a palette. This is why it's nice to have someone in here just to help out. Okay, so we're going to start out with this. And, again, when it is something that is a little more complex like this, take it one step at a time. Don't look at it and think, oh, there's no way I can make that. You can. We're just going to break it down and we're going to do each section individually. And then it's going to just come together, you guys. I promise it will. All right, so I'm going to grab my brush. And let me see. Anybody have any questions? Kathy says, just checked and the new Bible journaling sets are not on the site. Neither is the mini holiday set. Just wanted you to know these are not available yet. They should be. Do you want to see if you can find out? We'll check on that, Kathy. Thanks for letting me know. But they absolutely should be. Keep checking too, Kathy. And when I get some information, I will let you guys know. But yes, they should be. Absolutely should be on. Okay, let's get going. So we're going to start out. We're going to break it down and we're going to do one section at a time. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the color out of the line. So when I stamp this, again, same. Stamped it with the dark blue, 565, and then right over the top, the 969. So we're going to do this one right over the top, stamp it off, and then stamp it onto your canvas. So we're just going to take a brush. Let me just make sure this is really wet. You really want to saturate your brush when you're starting, and drag this color. Stay on this part of on this side of the line. So you can see the line here. If I were to go on this side of the line, it's going to bring this forward. If I go in this side, it's going to bring this forward. So I want this forward. This is the molding of the door. And I want this to be coming forward. Do you see how that, does that? This now is going to be on the other side. Okay. So we're going to do this one now on the other side. And what that does is it just brings this molding forward. So you're never coloring directly on the line. You're coloring next to the line and letting that color just kind of bleed out. And the same, up here. It's not as important up here because we're going to just cover all of this up with that holly. Do you see under here also? Just going under this kind of lifts this little bracket up off the door. Down here, this little board down here is part of the door. So we're just going to bring that forward also. The same with the door handle. And this little window framed out here. We're going to bring that forward. So same thing. We're going to be pulling that color out on the top so that this little frame comes forward. Okay? It works like magic, you guys. It just works. All right, now the little containers. We're going to do the same with these. And again, see the color is underneath because this little rim right here, it's coming forward. So, when it's something like this, where you want that little section to come forward. You want that color to be underneath. Now, when it's a dome like this, it's the opposite. We're bringing that color from the inside of the line. So see how this pot is rounded? It's the opposite of that. So we're bringing that color on the other side of the line and under here. So see, this one's rounded. So we're pulling that color from the inside of the line. And then we're just going to kind of drag it right across here. Okay, like so. And this little dog, we don't have to do a ton to him. We're just going to, pull a little bit of the color out, but we're going to add more color to him. This one, see, that color is going to be underneath, and because it's rounded, we're going to drag that color to the center. This one, see, this is an overhang. This is an overhang, so we want to see that shadow underneath. And this whole side here is going to be darker because these are kind of going back into the distance. This little part of the step here, it's an overhang. And so you can see how that just changed, and now it looks three-dimensional. Okay, I'm being told that the Joy is set up right now. So it should be available on the website. So I think we're good to go on that one. Okay, so all right, so now let's start by adding some color to this. We'll add some color to the pots, we'll do the little presents, and then we'll do the door. We'll add all the foliage and everything in, and we're just gonna, like I said, we're just gonna take it one step at a time. So let's start over here. Let's do this. We're gonna put the tree in, and then we'll add some color now to the pot. So I'm gonna get some color onto my palette, and this is the 856. And then we also need watercolor. We're going to need the 407. This is that really pretty 407 teal. 407, is that an O? Okay, there we go. A green. This is the cool green, the 249. 249. And then what else? I think that's all we need for right now, the blue, the dark blue. So this is the 565 dark blue. Okay, so let's start out with some red, and we're gonna just get this little container here. And we're just gonna do like maybe a little two-tone. It's kind of a nice way to break up the color too when you're adding color to some of these containers. Sometimes if they're really, really big, it's hard to get that variation of color. And so if you break it up like this, it works really good. And we can just put a little stripe in here, like so. And then since we're in the red, let's go ahead and do this little section here. We're going to do the ribbon. And actually on this stack of presents, this is a separate one, but I like to, and I did it on this one, to make this into one with just a top on it. It's just a little simpler version of it. Okay, and then let's do the bottom one. So we'll get some of this green, and we'll just do this one. And then we'll come back in and we'll get a darker shadow on the side of these little boxes when we're finished with this. So let's go in and we'll get some of this blue. So we're going to apply the color. This is round now, so we're going to apply the color to the side. Just to the sides like this. And then pinch your brush off and then just drag it over. Just drag it over to the center, and then we're going to get that really nice little highlight in here. And then we'll do the other, we'll do the top. Same way. Apply that color, and then pinch it off, and then drag it to the center. And then we can come back, once that's all dry, we can come back and add more color to it and make it just a little bit darker. I'm going to switch to my, my little brush. You can use a 1 or a 0. And I'm going to take some of this red now and do the little bows. This little bow in here. Just take your time. You know, it's the process that is the fun part, you know, and it's going to come together. It really will. Just one step at a time. Okay, got that little bow in here. So I'm going to go back in now, and I'm going to get the inside of these little loops and make sure they are really dark on the inside. And then I'm just going to make sure these little ribbons are really dark too. And you know what, we might as well just do this little ribbon on here too. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this blue and I'm going to add it to the side of the box because this little present is going to stay white with its red ribbon. So we're just going to put that shadow on there. See how that just pushes it back into the distance. And then let's just put a little shadow under this lid. We'll put a little shadow under here. You know, in this white section. And then we'll do a little bit over here. Again, that's the same concept of the way that we pull the color out of the lines, is that that shadow is on the bottom because that's where it's cast, down here on the bottom underneath this little lip. Okay, and let's just put a little more color on here. Let's just make this a little bit darker. And we're going to come back in with some white paint. You can see on here that I added some little dots to it. So we'll be doing that. We can add some detail to it with the white paint. And so you're just applying that color where it's going to be the darkest, and that's on the edges. And then just drag it over. Drag it over to the center and just leave that highlight on there. Okay, so we've got one section done already, you guys. We're doing good. All right, let's go ahead and move over to this side, and we'll get this color in. So I'm going to switch back to my other brush, and I'm going to do the same here with this green, and just do you know, a section of this little pot. And we're going to come in. Do you see how the snow is kind of, you know, mounded up here on the side of the pot? We're going to do that with the white paint, so it doesn't matter how we add the color here. And then let's just do this little stripe on here, because I just love stripes. You guys know that. Put a little shadow on here. And again, underneath there where that little lip is. And then let's go over here to this one. And we're going to do this little pot here. Same thing. Apply that color to the side. And then pinch it off and drag it over. So we can see that little highlight. And then we can add a little more. pinch it off. And as long as the sides are darker than the center, you have a rounded container. And you could, you know, we can add something decorative on here too, you know. Maybe let's just do it. Let's just do a little. Just do a little red. Let's do a little red heart on there. How cute. All right. So now let's do the little pup, and let's put some of this color on here. So this is the 947. This is a warm brown. And we're just gonna start adding some color on here. So, you know, with these little critters, this area of the face, we want to keep that really light. So you just start by applying the color, you know, where it's the darkest again. Just the same idea. You know, the light is at the top, so, you know, the very bottom of him is going to be the darkest, and then we're just dragging this color up to the top. And let's get his little ears. And then just really, really lightly, we'll just bring some of this color over. And if, you know, just keep pinching your brush off. This is what I do. I just keep pinching it off to make sure that I'm not getting it too dark. And just keep dragging that color over. It's really important to keep that really light. Get his little face, and you can make him as dark as you want. You can add, you know, more color to him and make him a little darker. And just do it the same way. Just apply that color and then just kind of drag it over. And then let's use the twin tone. And we'll get his little face back in, because his little face is kind of getting washed out. And his little ear. Okay, isn't he cute? Sitting in his little planter. Okay, let's go up here to this one. And we're just doing 2 stripes on here. So we're just going to grab a little of the blue and just get a little shadow on this pot. Because even though it's white, it's never uncolored. It's going to have some color, some type of shadow on here. And then let's make sure that's dry. I think it is. And now we can add our little red stripe on here. Okay. We're good on that. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? Let's add some color to the molding of the door. Pretty light, because we're going to be stamping over the top of it, especially up here. So let's just get, you know, a little color on here. And just brush it on. Okay. And you know what? Let's let's do that little hardware too. So let me just move this up, and we'll get the 969. We'll get some of this color. And we'll do the little hardware on the door. And I forgot this little frame. Just color it in. And then let's grab the twin tone, and we'll really darken this door handle. And you know, you want to see just a little bit of a highlight on it. Like so. And I made a little keyhole in here, but you know, you can if you want to. Just make a little keyhole on there. And let's just put this detail back in. We're going to come back in and add some more detail with the twin tone too. That's always something that we kind of do at the end, just to kind of finish it off. It's amazing how adding those details at the end really make a difference. That's why I say just don't quit. You know, don't quit on it. Give it finish it to the end. Just finish it to the end and then look at it again. Okay, let's get the tree in. Let's do that. So we're going to use this one. And I want to make sure, you know, that I'm not stamping over the top of my little container. So I'm going to take a little piece of Post-it tape, and I'm going to just drop it down a little bit so I can see where the parameters of the pot are. So you can see the corners right there. So when I go to stamp it, I can see that I'm getting it in the center of this section. And I can just ink the amount that I want to ink. So let's just do it. And I'm thinking about probably about this much, guessing. This will be good. Does that look like it's about the same? Yeah. And I can see, especially now because it's colored, I can see exactly where it is too. And you know what? I think I'm going to just ink that little section, this little section again, and just hit this little area. Okay. So now we've got our little tree in there. And we're just going to kind of take our brush and just follow the limbs. Just kind of dab. Just kind of follow the limbs. You can drag them out a little bit if you want to make it a little bit bigger. I can take this off now. You know, if you want to kind of drag some of these limbs out. And then, of course, we'll be adding the white paint to it, so it's just going to be so cute. And by the time you add the white paint, see, we stamped over the molding of the door. That's not going to be seen by the time we get the white paint on it. Okay, so let's just go on. Let's do the greenery in here and here and here. Well, I guess we'll do the grass at the very end once we get the snow in. But let's do this one. So we're going to take that little fir bough, and I'm just going to ink this all up, not the stem. Don't really need to ink the stem. And then we're just going to stamp it in here, you know, a few times. And maybe we've just got one down here like this. And then, you know, remember it's going to have snow in it. You know, so we're going to just leave a little space in there so we can just pile that snow right on the top. Like so. And then let's get our holly in here. So you can kind of see where this is going to go. So one of these kind of swings to the left, one of them swings to the right. So this one's kind of gonna go up like this. This one's gonna go down. So the one that's going down, let me just move this out of the way so we can stamp it. And I don't need the whole thing. So I'm just gonna ink part of it. And this one's kind of going down. So I'm just gonna stamp this kind of in here like this. See how that just kind of goes down over the door? And then the other one is gonna go up. So now it's gonna go up here. So we can kind of go up like this one. And this one, we're just gonna kind of go this direction. And then maybe we'll just go one more in here like this. Maybe just a little more. And that's it looks kind of messy, but it's gonna be really cute. And I just wonder if we should just have just a couple more down here. And by the time we get all the little red, you know, ornaments on here and we get the snow, it's going to turn out really cute. But it does kind of look like a mess. This is what I mean. You can't give up at this point. You just got to finish the process. And I'm just kind of hitting all the leaves. And the same here. You know, we don't have to do too much with these because we want to keep the integrity of the stamp and make sure we can see that it's a fir bough. So just a little bit of water in here. All right, let's move this back over. So now I need to cover this little dog. If I'm going to stamp that little branch in here, so this one right here, if we're going to stamp that in here, we need to cover that dog so we don't get this on it. And it's just going to kind of be in here just like this. Just so stamp it a couple of times and then just add a few little leaves to it. So just ink a few like this and then just kind of stamp them in here just like this. Just a scraggly little, you know, shrub that's still growing. And then just hit it with a little bit of water. And that's done. Okay, you guys, coming together. All right, so now let's put in the detail. Well, let's do the wreath. We haven't done the wreath yet, so let's do the wreath. We're gonna use the same green. I'm just using the same green throughout, but you can mix up your greens. You can use a combination of them. So now I can see, I'm just gonna put this, you know, just right here in the middle and I'm just gonna turn it a little bit and hit it one more time. Just a tiny little turn. Wow, I just keep moving these things around because you do kind of have to move your canvas a little bit when you're stamping just so that you can get into the right position. Look how cute these little wreaths are. They're just so cute. And when you add the snow to them, I just love it. Okay, so we've got our little wreath on there. What else do we need to do? We need to get the details in. So by the details, I mean the details in the door. So first let's add a little shadow up here under the door. And then, you know, just a little shadow coming down. And that just will kind of set that door back into the background. And let's get some color into the window. And I'm just using that same blue, the 565 blue. Okay, so now let's put the detail in, and by that I mean the lines in the door. You know, a few little lines into the wood. So you know, just with your pencil, just make a few little details, you know, in the wood. You know, a few little kind of cracks, just like that. And then we're gonna I'm just gonna turn this and grab my ruler. And however you want to do this, you know, sometimes it's easier to go this direction because you can kind of line it up, you know, with the marks on here. So if we start over here, and then we just start putting in the lines of the door, and then we can just kind of, you know, line it up. And honestly, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a wooden door, and we want it to kind of have character. So it's a little wonky. And so if it's not perfect, that's okay. It's adding charm and character to it. So you can see where I'm kind of lining this up, you know, right along where these little marks are. Just lightly, you know, with a pencil. A pencil is just such a great tool. Okay, I think that's probably pretty close to the edge. And then we want to make some little, you know, cracks and make it look a little distressed. So we're just going to do that with a little twin tone. And so we could just make these little cracks where it looks like the planks have kind of pulled away a little bit. And just darken a few of these areas. You don't have to do a lot. But it's just adding a little more detail in here. And then in this little frame too, you can just kind of darken in these little corners. Okay. See how cute that is? It's just it really makes a difference if you can just add a few little details like that, so everything doesn't look so perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go to the outside of the door because the door can't be just freestanding. It needs to have some sort of wall on the background. So, you know, the easiest thing to do is to just kind of pencil it in. And so let's do that. And we're just going to do a wider plank this time. And just the idea of it. So just a few little lines like this, and then you could add just a little cross line here where the plank might be going, and then just eyeball it over here. And then maybe just another one over here, like so. Actually, let's just do one more. Just like that. And then we can drag some of this color from here. We can just drag a little bit of this out because we don't want it to look too white. It's going to have, you know, shadows and different colors kind of coming out. Same with the door. I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of this brown and just kind of, you know, muddy it up a little bit. Even though the door is white, you know, again, it's going to have like some color to it. And the pencil will actually give you a little bit of color too. And let's just do a little shadow, you know, underneath here. Okay, you guys, come together. And let's just get a little, you know, nail on here. And another, just a little more detail on this frame. And it looks like I got a little water on here, but you guys, I mean, we'll just fix it. This, you know what? Like, it just happens sometimes. You know, you just dribble a little water on there and a drop, and you know what? We'll just we'll just fix it. All right, so let's put a little of this red back in. Right here where I got the water. You guys, you just never panic when it comes to this. You can usually fix it. Okay, see? Good as new. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to do? Okay, we're going to add the white paint to it, but first let's do these little round balls up here. So these little round ornaments, and I just took my red and I just made some circles in here. Just here and there. Try to get them all kind of the same size or similar. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then we'll add the little berries once we get the white paint on there. So let me just take my small brush and I'll take some red from my palette and we'll just color in. Leave a little highlight on there, just kind of in the middle. Okay, I think that is pretty good. So we're gonna get the details in. We'll make the little bows, but let's do the white paint first. So let me move this aside and move this aside. And let me just zoom in here. And we'll get the white on. All right, so I'm going to use my larger brush and I'm going to just dip my brush in water. I'm not going to pinch it off. And I'm just, whoops, let's get on the screen here. And I'm just going to kind of thin out this paint a little bit. And just kind of mix it up like this. So dip it again. If you think it's still not thin enough, you'll know it's too thin if it's really translucent. So when you go to put it on your green tree and you can kind of see through it, it just means that it's a little too thin, but just go over it again. All right, so let's just start with the tree and just kind of lay it on here, you know, where the branches are. Just, you know, there's no like right or wrong way to do it. You just kind of putting it on here like the snow's falling and just getting snow onto the little tree. And then we're going to have just a little, you know, stack of snow or pile of snow right on the top of here. And then we're going to have some more right here where it's kind of just collected on these little presents. And just put it on. And then down here, you know, where this little stack of presents is kind of getting buried in the snow. And the same with this one. And then let's do this little guy here. He's got a little snowy mound in here. And then just on the step, we're going to have some in here. And then let's just keep going. So in our little potted plant up here, with our fir boughs, we're going to have some snow in here on top. And then up in here, snow on here. And don't just, don't stress about how to put it on. Just kind of pile it on, little stacks, little piles. And then on our little wreath too. Or it's just kind of collected on here. Okay. And then this one, we need to just fill this little pot with snow. So cute. Just cute. See where these look like they're just a little see-through? Just go back over them again, make sure that they're really white. And then, these little rocks in here, we just cover those up. And you could also just make a really cute little Santa hat on this little dog. And to do that, just make a little white border like this. And then we'll come back to that. Let's just add a little snow in the window. A little frost. And while we're on it, we're going to add some snowflakes. The snow's falling, and it's falling in the front and the back and all over. And so we can just get the snow. Just going to put it wherever. Okay, I think maybe we're done with the snow, so I'm going to clean my brush out. And then we're going to come back with the little red twin tone. Make sure my brush is cleaned out. And the lid's back on. Okay, so while all of this is drying, let's make that little, the little hat. And so you're just going to just kind of bring it down like this. And you could just color it in. Let's just use the little brush. And then we'll just add a little white pom-pom on there. Okay, how cute. So now, once this is dry, we're gonna go back on the bottom of the snow, and we're gonna add just a little bit of a shadow in here. So we're gonna take some of this blue, and especially on the larger clumps of snow, we're just gonna add a little shadow underneath there. You don't have to do it to all of them, but the larger ones, it will really make a difference. See how that just casts a shadow underneath that snowy bank? See, same here and here. And we'll just get these. And you can see that just gives it a lot more dimension. Whoops, there we go. Okay, so now let's get that little red pen. So this one right here. And we're gonna add the little berries first of all. So we're just gonna add these little berries to the wreath. Just kind of in the lighter areas. You know, they're just gonna show up a lot better. And you can do as many of these as you want. You could just load it up with little red berries if you want. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little, a string, and we're gonna just tie this wreath up to a little pretend nail. So we can hang that little wreath there. We're gonna just put a little bow on this guy, like so. And then we're gonna hang this little pot. And we'll just go down like this. And don't overthink it, honestly. Okay, so we can just kind of touch up this little heart a little bit. And in here, make sure this is really dark inside these little bows. And let's go back to the white paint with the tiny brush now. And you guys, we're almost finished with it. Oh, you know what? Let's do that grass. Let's do the grass really quickly. And I'm just gonna get a little section of it here, just a tiny little bit, and just stamp it in. Like just like that, that's all. Just one time, we don't need to add any water to it, nothing. So now I'm gonna get some of this white paint with my little brush. And let's do his little pom-pom. And then let's do the little polka dots on here. And then let's do some on here. Okay, and we could get just a few more little snowflakes in, just kind of here and there. And you guys, we are finished. We just have to sign a date. And And this little project is finished. So be sure to say in the comments, you guys, if you would like to win this. Elizabeth, someone needs to let that little puppy in and give him a warm bed for Christmas, right? Yes, you guys will be included in the drawing. I'm going to be giving it away, of course. So be sure to say that in the comments if you would like to be in the drawing. Let me just sign it. With what color? Let's see. Let's just do a little shadow here. I feel like we just need a little shadow under here. There we go. Much better. So let me sign. And we will pick a winner. Now that I have the brown pen in my hand, I just, I'm going to have to look through here and see if there's anywhere else I need to use it. Just anywhere that you think just needs a little detail. Or something that's just not quite showing up enough. Sometimes we just lose the detail, when we're stamping. Okay, let me zoom out so that you guys can see. And how cute is that little project? All finished. I hope you guys give it a try. Let me get back on here so that I could say hello and goodbye to you. Don't forget, the Joy set is available right now. This one right here. This is available. And we will be using this beginning in January. So starting with the first Tuesday of the month in January at 8 o'clock Pacific time. We'll be starting the new Joy one, and also the suggested reading. So the scripture verses are available on the website too. So if you go to Get Inspired, and then you'll see suggested reading, Bible journaling or scripture reading, click that and you'll see the scripture verses for the Joy series. And you can print that off and then you'll be able to follow along with us. Also, the gift card sale, you guys, started today and it will go through Sunday at midnight Pacific time. So check that out. You'll see it on the website. Go to artimpressions.com. Click on that graphic on the slideshow, and it will take you to the coupon. And there are, if you click under options, you'll see all the different, options that you could choose from $15 all the way up. And it is a 25% discount. And you just add it to your cart. Super simple to do, and it will be really fun to have next year. For sure. So you guys check that out. Thanks so much for being on with me. I will see you next week. I'll be back on for Bible journaling next week. And I hope you guys will join me. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your day. And a great weekend ahead. And